The Love Talk Show on Liberty Radio.
Do you think combining money and marriage is a recipe for disaster? You're not alone. Money is the number one issue married couples fight about, and it is the second leading cause for divorce, second to infidelity. According to recent research with British couples, only 17% of those in a relationship regularly talk about finances with their partner. More than 1 in 10 people out of 2,000 adults polled are apprehensive about discussing debts. They also do not share how much they earn or know details of their partner's wages. The study, commissioned by M&S Bank, revealed that the common excuses for avoiding financial talk in a relationship were not finding a good time to do so, feeling embarrassed, and wondering how their other half might respond. In fact, people will typically utter the words, "I love you," 5 months before broaching the topic of money, which they won't talk about until 9 months into their relationship. Psychologist Emma Kenny said, "It's interesting to see that people would say, 'I love you' 5 months into a relationship, but wouldn't talk about money until 9 months, and many are simply uncomfortable talking about money with their other half." The research also found that 18% of couples are more likely to move in together before they talk about money. Additionally, the research revealed that being good with your finances is a more attractive attribute than being a good cook, and is also more appealing than being outgoing, sociable, or successful in one's career. Not even celebrities are safe from facing financial problems. In 2016, the rapper Kanye West announced to his several million Twitter followers that he was $53 million in debt. While West didn't go into detail on how he accumulated a personal burden of this amount, rumours began to surface that his financial downfall was a result of him trying to get his own clothing line off the ground. However, whether that was true or not, West was still in a hole and even asked Facebook's CEO Mark Zuckerberg for a $1 billion investment into his ideas. Apparently, his wife at the time, Kim Kardashian, helped to rescue West. She tweeted in her account, "Sorry I'm late to the party, guys. I was busy cashing my 80 million video game check and transferring 53 million into our joint account." Though it remains a mystery if Kardashian did in fact lift her husband's financial burdens, she has previously admitted to teaching him how to manage and save his money. "I am proud to say that I've given him really good financial advice on saving," she said during Vogue's 73 Questions video. It might have worked, as a few years later, West officially got his title of billionaire by Forbes. There is hope for couples who want to work on better communication around money. When couples get on the same page, through talking regularly, making money goals, and discussing dreams together, they build a strong foundation for their relationship.
You can speak about money in your marriage without any harm. You can do it. I know, you may think, but I've tried already and it didn't work. So we prefer just to avoid this area of our life. Or, as you know, as many couples sometimes prefer, is to put this aside and live individual lives. So, okay, I have my money, you have yours. I have my financial life, I have yours. And they are living separate lives. Is it possible? Yes, unfortunately, we can see that there are couples that they are trying to make this work in that way. However, this lack of trust, when it comes to money, is also affecting their relationship. Believe me, this is serious. But we are here to show a solution. But before we give you the tips, I know we're waiting for the tips. Liliane, our producer, she hit the street for us to get some opinions from our neighbors here in Finsbury Park about this topic. Let's listen to them.
Do you believe money should be shared in a relationship, or should each person handle their own money?
I think it depends on what kind of relationship. I think you have to agree on those terms. Personally, I think men and women, we both have a role. I don't know, it's difficult. I think you have to just agree on which money things that you're going to deal with as individuals. But I think it should be shared. I don't think especially nowadays when everything is so expensive, I think it should be shared.
I think a certain portion of money should be shared via a joint account to cover the cost of rent, bills, etc., because it just makes everything a lot more straightforward and helps you to avoid arguments within the relationship.
You can share, it should be shared at the first place, but if you can have access to your own money, why not? You know, in a good relationship, money shouldn't be an issue. If we trust each other, if there is kind of understanding, there is trust, and if we can plan or set up a budget, so, you know, it wouldn't create any problem. I don't think it should be a problem.
It depends on the relationship, doesn't it? If it's a long-term relationship, then it makes more sense to share, I think. If you're not sure the relationship is going to last, that sounds like a very bad idea.
I think money should be shared in a relationship because you're going to have a lot harder things to deal with in your relationship if it lasts to the end of time. So money is probably quite a good early one to discuss and make sure you're on the same page.
I know people who, you know, they separated from their partners because of money, or they got divorced. I believe that at the first place, from the beginning, things were not clear enough, or maybe they didn't discuss it. They didn't discuss the issue together. Probably lack of trust as well. All these reasons, I think, they can be an issue on the long term.
I was married and not married now, but that was like a big thing because we were both young. I think that had a big role to play in it, because I think men feel very insecure if they can't provide the way that they want to provide. So that was an issue.
Have you ever intentionally bought something in secrecy so that your partner wouldn't find out?
I am quite impulsive, so I've maybe bought things and just not considered my partner when I've bought those things. It's not caused any problems because my partner knew I was impulsive, and so they kind of expected me to maybe buy some silly stuff now and again.
Shopping, like clothes shopping, but then I said it later on. I was like, I bought this, just to let you know. I think we've all done that in relationships, yeah.
Intelligent couples have all it takes to be rich. We can see, for example, Pastor Philip, in the early years of this century, where people basically had to live from agriculture, we can see that was a business family. So everyone was involved in that process of making money. It was a matter of survival. You know, nowadays everything is different because in a household, you have people that they live together, but they work in completely different work fields. For example, in the same household, we have someone working, you know, with engineer and someone else working, you know, which is a doctor, for example. So they are completely different fields. Is that a problem? Not at all. It's not a problem. It's not a problem. But sometimes this brings this idea of, you know, individualism. So that's my money, that's your money. So that's my incomes, that's your incomes, and so let's live, you know, separate lives.
Pastor, we have seen that lately people, they are getting selfish. They are thinking about their own, and that's it. Even though they are in a relationship, they are like thinking, no, that's my and mine. But that's something that doesn't make sense. Like we were talking last week about the long-term relationship. How can it be like my money, my plans, I do whatever I want, but and if they are planning to stay long, why they need this thing like my money, my thing, I do whatever I want with my money?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's true. So intelligent couples have all it takes to be rich. You know why? Because even if you work in different fields, like we just said here, just mentioned, you know, you are working with engineer and your partner working in a hospital, you know, anyways, you know, selling, any other thing. If you understand that can work together, you will work for one objective. And by the way, we already said that, and this is not, you know, out of our mind, but couples, they have a more chances, you know, of success applying for a mortgage than, you know, single people. You know why? Because especially if they have a joint account, because they have that shared income, and it shows, you know, this spirit of responsibility, this spirit of family, actually, you know, because they're all working together for one thing, one objective.
Yes, Pastor. Is the saying we also use here a lot here in the church. Alone, you can go faster, but together you can go farther.
Further, yeah, exactly. Very true. See yourselves as business partners.
Both need to know what is going on in everything. Like in a business, when we say a business, is to everything to be spoken about. It cannot be just like, he will understand or she will understand or whatever. No, it need to be spoken. There must be a communication. In this situation, we spoke a lot about communication, but in this situation, need to be said, the words, perhaps even a spreadsheet or whatever, to control, to see where is the expenses, to see what is the income, and then to have the control of everything that is going on.
Yeah, because one of the worst things for a couple when it comes to money is to be always in that, guessing field, in that guessing area. They never know, that it's never clear. They never know exactly, the balance of their bank account. Like, sometimes people that they believe their card is a magic thing. It's like the
credit card. No,
yeah, they believe it's like that magic stick, like Harry Potter. You touch it, especially nowadays, you touch it, it's paid, paid. And paid.
And nowadays with the online shopping, so then they just buy there and they just arrive 1 week later.
Till the day that they have to deal with that very unpleasant surprise. They touch their, the Harry Potter stick magic, and then they receive a message, declined, and they say, okay, let me try this one, please, and then, it's not working, so let me just clean it because it's a bit dirty. All these techniques, right?
And then the person say, now I need to talk to my husband or to my wife.
Now we have to speak about money. Now I have to do about, yes. So it's better for you to avoid these things. Have common objectives. You have an agreement. Of course, you men, you have to understand that your wife, she has her needs. She has to buy, things that's necessary for her. And you women, you have to understand that your husband also has his needs. But when you put all together, let's put all the eggs in the same basket. Oh, but that's too risky. When it comes to a relationship, that's if you have, and by the way, that's the reason why we have the third tip. If you have what is necessary for you to do it, you can be sure that, your relationship will be much easier, and that, money for you will not be a problem, but the opposite will be your ally. The third tip is money is an expression of trust. And it's very true, very true. Someone said, a gentleman said in, the interview, saying, it depends. If you think in a relationship in the long term, that's necessary. But, when I think about a relationship, I'm not thinking about adventures, because the problem of people that they are seeking for adventures, they're putting their hearts in risk, right? And they eventually will get hurt. So, when you speak about a relationship, of course, those who are already learning, the intelligent love, they already understood that here in the Love Talk Show, in the Love Therapy, we are aiming to a long-term relationship, something that will last and you will be happy because you will prevent pain in the future. So trust is something that we build. Let us say now, that you, husband, you wife, perhaps you messed up, with money, and now it's hard for you to regain trust from your partner. What do I do? Maybe you ask. Let me tell you what to do. Let me tell you something. Look, you have to show, you have to prove now that you are different. You have to prove to yourself and to your husband or to your wife that you are really, really willing to do things differently now. And how can you do that? By being different, by fighting against these feelings. And perhaps if you have, a problem that is, maybe you think, but you say that's stronger than I. The love therapy is also, a tool for you to overcome that. But if you broke trust, if you have this problem, if you messed up, so now you have an opportunity. Don't Don't you think that by promising and saying, look, now I'll be different, trust me, everything will be different, words, they are not enough. You have to regain this trust by rebuilding, by showing you are different, by being transparent, by being clear, talking about money. Don't you think that money is like a monster? This is a forbidden conversation in a marriage. No, it's not. You have to speak about money, but of course, try to find the right time, the right moment, and of course, respectfully, and for sure, you will be much happier, right?
The Love Talk Show on Liberty Radio.